Kia ora. Welcome to the naughty corner. This time it's the travelling naughty corner. Dog. Got about 3 hours sleep, so I'm looking a little puffy, so apologies for that. We are just starting to question the very fabric of reality, aren't we? And many people have been doing this for a long time. And why wouldn't you? Because things just don't seem like they can be real. Things are just so fucking crazy, and we're all trying to manage how we cope with it in the way that we think about it, whether we entertain certain ideas, whether we say, look, I'm going to be strong, I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist, I'm not going to dive into damaging dogma, I'm going to stay on the path of the straight and narrow, and I'm just going to take things more at face value, because that way, you know, it's healthier, right? And to a lot of people, more logical. And that's fine. But you really do have to question a lot of symbolism, because to me, don't you feel that everything is just collapsing down on itself, and the world is already just so tiny, and now it's just like there's not enough new data and everything's recycled. It's like we might need a bit more RAM or something, you know. If you think about MONARCH, for example, okay, so did you know MONARCH, it symbolizes to me, I mean, look, MONARCH butterflies, the creatures themselves are so inspiring. They're so active just before electrical storms, you know. These are wildebeests of the butterfly world, right? They are just so brave and enduring. And they're so symbolic of many things, right? And it's one of the tattoos that I have, actually. But more recently, technology has been developed, and it's MONARCH. It's called MONARCH, and it's a system that parents can use at home to basically damage their children's brains. So it includes electrodes that can be used on a child's brain at home, you know, for all those pesky children who, you know, don't want to upset any parents. I know there's always variables, and I know there's always cases where genuine people who put the time and effort and thought into parenting, you know, sometimes things are genetic and things are out of their control, or they're doing their best and things just happen, and I understand that. But, you know, often these things are developed for people who just aren't satisfied to either do the work or the training, or to allow certain things to be accepted as normal. And so devices like MONARCH come along, where parents can zippity-zap their child's brain, their delicate, developing brain, the human brain. Besides the universe itself, as far as human beings might know, the human brain is the most extraordinary thing in the universe. Okay, that's just my opinion, but it's probably many others' opinion. So, you know, we've got MONARCH. So this just represents the degradation of the brain, the dumbing down, the homogenization of the human race. It represents mind control. And what do we have with Angel Gabrielle? Okay? and brain laundry, or should we say brain washing. You know, we've got this symbolic monarch butterfly symbolizing, you know, the fact that human beings these days are willing to stick the electrodes into their own brain and give them a good zap and just turn themselves into zombies, just like that, because they don't want to be human beings. They don't want to be each so special. We don't value the individual anymore. The individual's a psychopath, or worse, a sociopath, or worse, a truther. Look, I admit it, because the truthers are pretty scary, and they can be very manipulative and very they can create that they weave their own spells in a way, and I believe one must be very cautious about the truther community. And they can have you believing things that are full of holes and mistakes and leaps of logic and things like that, right? Which is why I don't talk, even if it might just be an interesting conversation for some people, and it might be something that I might want to talk about, the volume of strange little quinky dinks that I could name about all the cases, and there'll be some things that you would never, if I pointed them out, you would flip out. But I don't, because it annoys people, it distresses people, it's something that it seems to, it would lower my IQ, wouldn't it? Even if it's just done as something interesting, even if it's done as just an exercise where I can see, like, hey, wow, if I was in a former psychotic state, I wouldn't be functioning now, because I would be so obsessed and frightened and weirded out, and words like that don't even describe it. But come on, Buggies. Oh, he's such a cutie pie. Look at him. Yeah, so, but don't you think it's so queer though, right? We had the farce of the dogs being brought in, not by official law enforcement, but by expired law enforcement, and Suzanne Morphew's family. The dogs brought into Colorado. Did you notice that they're not part of the arrest affidavit? They found nothing of value. So, we had the farce of those dogs, and then isn't it just such, if you look at things like this, I mean, just how barefaced can you get, that then we've had Dog the bounty hunter. It's now, let's just see if this dog can find something. Maybe he'll do better. He'll do a genuine job of finding Brian Loungy, which we're told he's in the Appalachians, which is interesting, because of course Summer Wells is from the Appalachians, and of course Gabby and Brain went through the Appalachians most likely just the day before Summer went missing. And I know there are people out there trying to work out, did they return back through on the 15th to go back up for Gabby's brother's graduation before they set back out on their trip? Was it in July? So yeah, they were going through Tennessee. So, it's just like the world is so tiny. And then I guess there's probably another set of people, like there's probably a whole other part of a true crime community, because we all sort of get grouped together, right? That's how YouTube does it. Those times when you just come across a YouTube channel and go, holy shit, I didn't know this person was making videos about this crime. I've been following this crime for 2 years, and now here's this person with 10,000 subscribers. How did I get onto this? And it opens up another little pocket of the world on YouTube, and another and another. And on you go. But you know, we're sort of kept in our little communities, aren't we? We all seem to know the same things, and